like this today. Yet no man wants me to be his girlfriend.
So we are here at this point now, guys, where men are walking away from Western society, relationships in Western society, and they're choosing to focus on themselves, find happiness. You have two groups of men. You have the men walking away, which are men with alternatives, and then you have the MGTOWs, which are men who are separatists, and they're saying we are done. Not only are we taking our ball and going home, but we want to live separate lives in society. We're done with society. We're done with relationships. We want to be by ourselves. We don't want to be around others. We are living separate lives. They are separatists, and women are now entering into a reality where a lot of these men, regardless if they find MGTOW online or not, they are beginning to live this lifestyle entirely on their own, where they are separating themselves in society and from relationships. And women did this to themselves, and now they're out here like, where have all the good men gone? Or more so, where have all the men gone? And it's very interesting.
There was a study done in the 90s, and what they found out, I think, still holds true today. So what they did is they took a group of men and they took a group of women and they categorized these men. So it was like high status, t-shirt, McDonald's. Same thing with the women. High status, t-shirt, McDonald's. And then they asked, the men, okay, would you go to coffee with this person, go on a date, marry? And in all three categories, the guy didn't care. He's like, yes, sure, whatever. With women, it was a whole different story. Women went to the high status man for the majority of them. So that was for coffee, date, marriage. My takeaway on this is just goes along with the trends I've been seeing. So we are in this Kardashian culture and have been for, 10 years. I don't know how long they've been on. But this idea of perfection has just been kind of unseen before.
I released my workout program yesterday. They take my account for me. Guess what? People are still buying my workout program. And guess what? Guess what? I'm making more money in a day from my workout program than I am from OnlyFans. God is fucking good. Because I don't want to do OnlyFans. I don't want to do OnlyFans.
Study called from the Pew Center Research conducted a study that said 63% of men under age 30 would rather stay home and watch porn than go on a date. Men say they are getting their needs met without having to go on a date. Would men rather stay single than be with a woman is the question.
That's what they're saying, pretty much.
63% of men.
I think they're cheap.
Yeah, they just ain't got no money.
They don't have money, which you should get your money up before you start dating. So it is cheaper to sit home and beat your meat than actually go out and find actual women to hang out with.
To hang out with. You mean to spend money on, because you're nothing more than an ATM. So if a man is not spending money on a woman, then he has no value. Do you guys see how this is? Do you see how women think in Western society? If a man is not with a woman, if he is not spending money on a woman, they're going to shame you, because you should be out allowing a woman to give you her presence in exchange for money and resources. If you're not spending your resources on a woman, then you're not a man with value. Y'all see that? If you can't take a woman out and spend hundreds of dollars on her and give your time to her, if you're a man that values your money, values your time, values yourself, they call you a low value man. See that? You're the men that they don't want, but the men that they need, they will immediately shame you if you're not out there grinding and giving them what they want. And they cannot see that this type of behavior will only lead to more men walking away and saying that we're going to stay separate. We're not even going to interact. This is a terrible and disgusting way of behaving. But unfortunately, they've been conditioned to behave this way because society has told them that they are perfect and men exist to serve. If you listen to the simps, they're out here saying that these are generational curses because men are walking away. Men have no interest in dating, relationships, or physical intimacy. And yet, didn't the Bible say that if a man can do without a woman, then it's best for him to do so? If you can live without a wife, then it is best for you to live without a wife and simply love God? You see, guys, they pick and choose. It was never about freedom. It was always about control. A lot of these men aren't tolerating the BS anymore. A lot of these men, married men too, this is a whole different era. If they're in a relationship with someone who steps outside and is like, oh, I'm going to do what I want, guys, these men are out.
I divorced my wife because the way that she started dressing. I told her from the jump that I don't like women that dress provocative. I don't like that stuff at all. You have to dress modest. You know what I'm saying? Only dress provocative if it's just me and you inside the house. So she started hanging out with these girls from a job. And, you know, I met them. And I'm instantly just thinking in my mind that this is not a good group right here. This is one of them groups where she's not going to want to feel like she's being left out and stuff like that. And I told her, I said, I don't think you should be hanging out with these chicks because all these chicks are single. You know what I'm saying? None of these chicks are married. You know, single women, they tend to get married women in trouble. So after about like a month, you know what I'm saying, of her chilling with these girls, she started dressing like how they was dressing. And I'm like, whoa. I was like, where you going with that on? And then she told me, she like, it's just an outfit. It's not much. I'm just, you know, just dressing for the occasion. I'm like, no. I said, no, you got to take that off. I'm like, no, I don't care who you hanging with. You can't put that on, man. You're not fit to go out there dressed like that. And instead of her going to change, she left anyway. She said, no, this is what I'm going to wear. All my friends are dressing like this, and this is just what I'm going to wear. Okay. When she came back, it only take one time to do that thought stuff with me. You know what I'm saying? When she came back, 2 o'clock in the morning, all her stuff was outside. All of it.
I think young guys are doing with their time and energy. Porn, social media, video games. The beast, the false prophet, and the antichrist. That's what they're doing. Single guys in your 20s, here's what we know. 68% of guys in their 20s today are not dating a woman, not intending to date a woman, have no actual interest in a relationship with a female, and are making no movement toward marriage whatsoever. The last few years, a lot of young men just moved home with their mother. They have no intention of ever moving out until they can find a girlfriend in her 20s or 30s with a good job and low expectations. And then their hope is to move into her house and have her pick up where mom left off. And what these are generational curses and bad patterns that are destroying young men. Destroying young men. And today, young men are an endangered species. And everything in our culture is to absolutely remove their masculinity and to ruin their legacy.
OnlyFans will ruin your life just as badly as corn will, and for less money. Likely. What people don't understand about OnlyFans is it's a lot of fucking work. I made another video on this and let the women that do OnlyFans speak for themselves in the comments. So no, don't do OF. At least with corn, you get a guaranteed check as long as your agent doesn't take it. OF, you're putting your nudes on the internet for the rest of forever in the hopes of possibly one day making $1,000. It's not a better option. Both things will ruin your life. Neither of them pay enough.
I mean, guys, there you have it. So many women went down this path thinking that they were going to have easy lives by relying on the simp economy, and then the simp economy screws up. I've been talking about this constantly, that OnlyFools is being shut down. Okay, the DOJ has been contacted in 2024, and they are basically refusing to admit if they are not investigating OnlyFools right now. They were called upon back in 2021 by over 100 members of Congress to investigate OnlyFools, and now we're seeing signs that that not only is the DOJ investigating them, so the criminal division, but also the tax evasion division, and the IRS is also investing OnlyFools, and the content creators OnlyFools, and a number of content creators OnlyFools have already been contacted by the IRS. Okay, These women, they wanted to live easy lives, but we all know what the easy path leads to. All right, the easy path often ends up leading to the hardest life, and the hardest path often ends up leading to an easier life. There's no such thing as an easy life necessarily, but if when you take the path less traveled more often than not, and you put in that hard work in life, then you're more likely to reach a better destination. And of course, it doesn't always work out for you. There's a lot of Gen Xers walking around with a lot of rage inside of them, totally pissed off that they did everything right, did everything they were supposed to do, and they're still not making it. They still haven't been able to make it. But they have something that they don't seem to. I know it doesn't mean anything to them. I know me saying this doesn't mean much to them, but they still have something that a lot of people don't, a lot of other people don't have, and that is the will to survive. That is the capacity to survive regardless of hard times. It's not that maybe they will never have an easy life or a comfortable life, but they will be able to continue living and surviving regardless if it's a great existence or not. The Gen Zers, these people will not be able to survive, and we all know it. Okay, the way that they are, I've already said that 5 to 10 years from now, they'll be all over society stealing and squatting, stealing and squatting. And many Gen Alphas will never work a normal job in their life. If you see what's going on with Gen Alphas right now, they're basically throwing hands with their teachers. A lot of teachers are quitting all around the world. And from South Korea to the United States, teachers are quitting. There are videos online of Gen Alphas acting out. A lot of that has to do with the years that they spent growing up post 2020. You know, for us, the last 4 years have felt like 40 years for some people, or 10 really, really hard years for others. You have to imagine just how much it impacted these children at that critical period of their development. What if the children learn how to control their behavior and regulate their behavior by learning from peers? But they didn't do that for so many years, and there's a lot of people who are like, oh, it doesn't matter, don't blame their bad behavior for a couple of years, like it was nothing. Guys, it was absolutely something. People experienced it differently, and for children it really, really impacted them, and we're seeing the ramifications of that and the effect on them right now. By the way, guys, don't forget to check out my newsletter. It is so awesome. You can sign up. It's linked in the description for my personal thoughts and insights. Things that I can't say here, I can say there. So go and check that out. Subscribe to it. And also join us over on Locals. Join the Angry Guy community on Locals for exclusive content. And if you just want to support the channel, it's angrygalaxy.com. And again, it's linked in the description of the video. I mean, guys, what do you think regarding all of this? Men going their own way is collapsing the economy. The simp economy is falling apart. Women are finding it more and more difficult to find men that are willing to provide for them. And of course, all they know how to do is use shame, or sign language, which is shame, insults, and guilt, because they need to be right. What do you think regarding this? And do you agree that the Great V collapse is coming? I called it the Great V collapse. It's, it was delayed by the events of 2020, but it's on the way. And, someone actually predicted that, later into the 2020s and even into the early 2030s, society was going to wonder and begin asking, how did women end up in the state that they are in? The it's very sad and terrible state that they're in, because because guys, where we're heading right now is you're going to have, despite hard times, you're going to have maybe more millionaires than ever. I know it sounds crazy to you, but a lot of the men walking away, and even some of the men that are the MGTOWs, are going to end up becoming millionaires. The reason why is because, if you're not spending your disposable income on a family, on a wife, on children, then the average man is a minimalist. So all of that money is going into the bank, it's going into investments, and it's just going to keep on growing. So you're going to end up with guys who very, very normal guys that make $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year. They're just dumping their money in crypto. They're dumping their money into stocks. They're putting their money into real estate because they have nothing else to do with it. And even when they make money, they're still like, they're basically living far below their means as possible. And they're just going to keep on reinvesting that money. You're going to end up with a lot of millionaires. A lot of men are going to become millionaires. And, They're going to own tangible assets. As a result of that, despite the fact that inflation is only going to continue going higher and higher, it's just going to make men richer because they're going to buy real estate, they're going to own tangible property, they're going to own stocks, and they're going to put their money into vehicles that are going to make them money and also be resistant to inflation. And as a result of that, they're going to get wealthier and wealthier, while women who are more risk adverse than men are going to see, lots of hardship, especially as the simp economy is going away and are moving overseas. It'll never fully go away, but the simp economy is moving overseas. The Filipinos are not playing games; they're all on their business. All right. And I told you that women around the world were going to begin competing for men from Western society, from Western countries, and that's the reality. And men are just going to keep, men who want wives, men who want children, men who want relationships, they're going to go overseas. There's nothing left in America. There's no relationship left in America, Canada, Australia, and these Western countries. The men are leaving. What do you guys think regarding everything we discussed here? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. We'll talk about it there. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men walking away. And cheers.